Well, welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me. It's been a couple of weeks between drinks, but we'll get to that in the episode. I've finally managed to get us onto Google, Spotify, Apple, Breaker, Overcast. Anywhere you get your podcast, guys, you're going to find the Kickback. So please like, subscribe, share. Like always, tell your friends. But first of all, kick back, relax, grab a coffee, grab a beer, and enjoy the Kickback episode 7. Thanks for joining me. As you can see, we're in a new studio. Same gear, same house, but different room. I managed to get some art up on the wall. We've got some really nice stuff here. I'll post about it a bit more on Instagram. But yeah, I've got my custom painted guitar, which the missus got me. Some awesome handwork by my boy, Luke Muller. Shout out to Luke. Finally, the tattoo shops are open again, so I'll book back in to see Luco, so that'll be good. But yeah, I'll show you that on the Instagram. But for today on the episode, guys, I want to talk to you a little bit. I'm doing something a bit different. So with the room change, with everything that's changed lately, I guess with the setup of society and shit like that. Ugh, there was a bit of fluff in my coffee. That was gross. It's been a bit difficult to get people in here, and obviously I'm trying to keep my house as safe as I can as well. So I've got a couple of people coming up, but we're going to do some Zoom. But hopefully now I can get back out on the road. Actually, I can't. So long story. Let's rewind. Guys, the van is a shit show. I had it running. I was fixing everything up like I have been, the windows. Finally building the back end, and we've had some sort of technical issue with the steering lock motor, my auto electrician is saying. So we're getting that sorted out, but she hasn't been at home for a couple of weeks now, so I'm missing old Sadie a little. But she'll be back. So hopefully I'm going to actually set up the podcast in the van. So we're going to have a van life podcast, so we can cruise around, we can see people, we can do all that different sort of stuff. So I think that's going to be pretty exciting. Obviously, you know, it's going to take some time and working it all out, but that should be cool. That will definitely be cool. And it'll be good for the Instagram as well, you know. I always planned on doing the van build on the gram, but obviously at the moment, I don't even have the van, so there's going to be absolutely no way I can do the Insta videos. But as soon as she's back and I start building again, you know, you guys will be the first to know. Absolutely. Some awesome guests coming up. Just trying to work out, like I was talking about, how we're going to do all that. But it should be cool. It'll be something different, that's for sure, especially in the back of the van. And it sounds super dodgy. It sounds like free candy van, if you know what I mean. But it's certainly nothing like that. We're looking at doing a real beach theme, maybe a couple of couches, a table, some nice shelving, things like that. Basically, so it's set up that we can just take off whenever we want, me and the missus and the dogs. So that'll be exciting. But yeah, for now, we're just holding out, waiting for Sadie to come home because we miss her. Obviously, I'm still unemployed, guys, as well. So I've actually teed up, fingers crossed. Nico, hopefully you see this. But, you know, shout out to Petro Builders. I will be back if everything goes to plan. I'm meeting with the head honcho, Radwan, on Thursday. So that'll be exciting. I've always loved working for him, and he's got a great crew of boys. So, you know, all well that ends well, hopefully, Nick. But we'll see how we go. I've sorted out my Centrelink and all that now, but yeah, I've just been kicking back, to be real honest with you. So we're keeping the house clean. Yeah, I guess you could call me a domestic god at this point. I've got mopping the floors down, I've got cleaning the house, I've got the groceries, I've got all that sort of stuff that, you know, me and my missus used to share. But me being home and her still working means that I take it on. And at this point in time, that's my job. As funny as that sounds, and it's certainly been a bit of a shock to me. But I'm also just finding a lot of time for myself as well. My health and fitness is on a new level, which I cannot complain about. I've still got the home gym, back into the running scene again as well. So my health and fitness goals are really sort of tracking forward. It took a bit of a stalemate there for a little while, and I was just lifting weights. But I'm back into the cardio game and just getting that I guess, well-being back up, because running isn't just good for me physically, it also plays a massive part in my mental health. And I think that comes down to a lot of things. I think it comes down to being out in the sun. I think it comes down to sweating. I think it's just something that really gets my body working and working hard, and I enjoy it. But there's definitely some negatives, to it as well, because I hurt like shit. But I can't complain about that at all. What else has been going on, guys? We've been actually doing some serious, well, not serious renos, but some work around the house as well. With me not working, it's been great actually for the house, for my relationship as well. This is gonna get a bit deep, but me and my wife, obviously, when we're both working full time, it's you don't get to see each other as much, and when you do, there's a lot of things that have to get done. But getting those things done while she's at work is giving us a lot of time to actually, connect on a new level, and it's something that it's a real positive that's come out of such a negative situation. I don't talk a lot about my relationship, and obviously I clear anything that I do talk about. I clear it with her before I talk about it. But having this time to just really reconnect with her on a emotional and I guess even on a spiritual level, like we're having fun and we're laughing and we're carrying on like silly buggers, and we sort of lose a bit of that when you get caught up in the work and the money and the day-to-day just things that we all have to deal with. But I really urge everyone out there to really make time for your partner, whatever you want to do. Me and Amy spend a lot of time at home, and that usually used to be something that I was really struggled with, but having the time for myself through the day to be able to achieve what I want to achieve, or record a podcast, or work out, it's leaving a lot of time for us in the afternoons. So it's really worked out really well, and I can honestly say that this is probably the best our relationship's been in quite some time. So yeah, guys, I really urge you to really make the most of your relationships, and don't take your partner for granted. I think we're all guilty of that quite often, and it's really been driven home over the last couple of weeks. We've had a pretty rough trot with, I guess, as morbid as it is to say, but with death. We had another one of our really, really close family friends, unfortunately, is now at peace after struggling with a disorder, I guess, for a little while now, and it really just reiterates to the fact that life is so short, man. Life is so it's so temperamental, and it sucks that we have to go through such a negative to achieve some clarity and some peace of mind. But it is what it is, when it's like that. So yeah, I had a rough trot, and I had to call the people that mean a lot to me, and just let them know that they do mean a lot to me, because I would hate for something to happen and then not know that I care about them or that I love them. And it's family, it's not just family, it's something that I want to talk about, so it's a pretty good segue. But my tribe, there's a lot of people that aren't family or are just friends in some ways, but I've always had a really small family, and there's a running joke at my family that I only get along with 2 people at a time. I don't know where that came from, but it seems to work out pretty well now that it's been seen and talked about. But yeah, I have a tribe. I have a tribe of people, and it comes back to tribalism as a whole, and a lot of books. I've been reading a lot lately over the last maybe couple of months, and Sebastian Junger has an awesome book called Tribe, and he talks a lot about the need for tribe and the need for community, and it can be bad in a lot of ways, the tribalism, but it also can benefit people in a huge way if it's done the right way, and if people are open to certain aspects. But a tribe to me is a group of people that you've chosen to be by your side. Your tribe isn't a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a right. It's a privilege to be a part of the tribe, and to have those people in your life that can see the privilege of you being in your life, and you see the privilege of being in their life. That's more to me than blood or time or history or anything like that. And I think that's what we all need to think about a lot more is, we put ourselves down or to the back because we feel like we have to, we have to spend time with this person, or we do a lot out of like duty. And it's, you have your duties, like you need to look after things, but I'm starting to really see a lot in my own life that there's a lot that I do that I just do out of a chore or out of duty or out of I don't even know why I do it. When I kick back and I sit down and I think about what I'm actually doing, I don't see the positive to it in my life. And I guess it sort of goes back to what I was saying before as well, now that I'm sort of thinking about it and talking about it a bit more. But life is so short, and it's so I can't even think of the word, but it's precious, and the more I see the devastation of somebody passing on, or family being broken, or just of someone reaching towards the end of their life and having all these regrets, it really makes me realize, like, you got to be happy. We're only here for X amount of years. Some people are less than others or more than others, but you got to be happy. That's the biggest thing, just driving home things that you care about, that you're passionate about, and spreading the love and the goodness to the people around you. And if you're not getting that back, it can be really detrimental to your mental health, but also to that relationship. And expecting things from other people that you can't expect, or expecting things from other people that you're willing to give them, it really just shuts you down. It really cuts you to the core. And I think over the last couple of years, I've been really dealing with a lot of, coming and going of people or friends and stuff like that. And it's just reiterating to the fact that people are on such different paths, and no one's wrong or right, or, people can be angry and people can be sad, but unfortunately, sometimes things just dwindle out. And I don't really even know how I got here in this conversation, because I was talking more so about just making sure that your mental health and your tribe and the people around you are strong and good. Good is probably better, because they don't always have to be strong, but people have to be good to each other, and making sure that you're surrounded by people that are good to you and you're good to them. And I think that changes a lot. And I think we've seen a lot of that through this lockdown period. A lot of community coming out of situations. People have stuck together to look after the rest of us, I guess. We're not doing this for ourselves. Well, I'm not doing it for myself, because I touch wood. I'm not scared of corona, but I'm scared for the people that are, high risk, or the elderly and stuff like that. But that's why I'm staying home. I'm staying home to look after other people. Because I would hate for something that my actions to hurt someone on a physical level, let alone, a fatal level. And the last thing I want to do is to have that emotion or that sadness on my heart that I made someone sick. So unfortunately, I haven't even seen like my grandparents for probably months now, really, which is pretty fucking sad. Especially after just losing my overseas grandparents. Like, I want to see them, and I want to talk with them, and I want to get to know them a bit more, because unfortunately I've spent so long in my life just thinking that they'd be around forever, but they're not. They won't be here forever. And I guess that sort of leads into, I'm going to start a new segment, actually. Every week I'm going to bring some questions that I've got off the gram. I'm going to bring them onto the podcast. I'm going to answer them and talk about them a little bit, because I really want you guys to know me on a level where, that we can have a conversation if you see me out and we're not strangers. And that's not from anything other than I just want to be genuine with you. because you're taking time out of your day to sit down and listen to some idiot talk. And I don't want to just talk about shit. I don't want you to leave after 20 minutes or 30 minutes and think, why the fuck did I bother listening to that? But I'd love for people to be able to get something out of, the time that they get to spend listening to me, be it, via the podcast or the YouTube or just some shit that I might post on Instagram. I want to be a benefit to you guys and to society, and use my platform. Not that it's as shit as that sounds so fucking dumb, but use the platforms that I can to reach people that might be in need, or just to spread some positivity, because I think we need more of it. But so 3 questions a week I'm going to head for. So if you do have any questions, make sure you jump on the Instagram at SaltyJoe. You'll find me. You'll find wherever you find your podcast. I'll try and start doing some show notes and things like that. But yeah, at SaltyJoe on Instagram, Joe Randerson on Facebook. I don't really use Facebook, but you always can reach out and message me on there. But this week, first question we got is from at Lockhead Pock, which is my boy Lockie Bassani. Shout out to Lockie. He asks, what am I looking forward to most after lockdown? I think that's a really great question, because everyone is in a rush to get back to how life was, but I'm pretty happy with life not going back to the way it was. Like, even with going into a new job and employment and I guess work and home balance, with the van, with finances, this has put it all into a lot of perspectives, changed my perspective on it all. But what am I looking forward to most? To be honest, Lockie and anyone else, like, I'm looking forward to the beach, man. I know it's winter and it's cold, but I just want to get in that van after it's all built in, man, and just take off. And I just want to see some shit. I want to see the beach. I feel like I haven't been there I know I haven't been there in months, but it feels like even longer. I just want to sit in the back of the van and have a coffee and just look out on the ocean and just watch people, watch nature. I just want to be outdoors again, man. I want to go see some stuff. I always had plans after the bushfires. I was going to, we're going to rent an RV, me and the missus, maybe some friends as well, and travel down and try and help out within the bushfires. But then all this corona stuff come up as well. So it had to get put on the back burner, but that's still, what I want to do. Even if it's just day trips to affected areas or whatever it might be. I just want to be able to just go see some shit, to be perfectly honest. So thanks, Lockie. Thanks for reaching out, brother. I hope you're doing well. Next, we have a question from an Instagram page called Montage. And I'd never actually seen the page, but it's a pretty cool page. It's just full of random, funny, cool stuff, to be perfectly honest with you. But they asked, does my family have a motto? And is it spoken or unspoken? Now, we don't really have a motto. Like I said before, my family, so my mother's from the UK, so all her family is still over there, and my Australian family, which is my dad's side, there's only, so my grandparents, and then my auntie and uncle, and then I have 2 cousins. So, like, even family gatherings, now that I have a wife and my brother has a partner, they're only 12 people. So it's not like it's a big family, and we don't have like a motto as in a coat of arms or something like that, but something that is spoken about between me and my mum a lot, and my brother and my mum as well, is there used to be this book that we grew up with that was called Guess How Much I Love You, and it was about this. It was a rabbit father and a young rabbit, whatever. I don't even know what a young rabbit's called, but they're having a competition about how much they love each other. And the book actually ends with the child rabbit. That sounds weird. The child rabbit saying like, "I love you to the moon," and the dad replying, I think it was a dad. I don't know why I think it was a dad. I've got it around here somewhere. And the dad replying, "I love you to the moon and back." And that's something that something that's always been between myself and mum and my brother and mum as well. And then my old man and myself and my old man, myself and my brother. So it's not really a family motto, but it's something that we all deal with. We have church, so I don't really know where it come from, but my old man introduced it. But if you call church, so like my brother will have to come and my dad will have to come. It's like a family meeting, basically, but it's called church. And we've done that now for a couple of years, and it's one of those things that we know if church gets called, then there's something serious that needs to be spoken about, and you do what you can to get there. So yeah, it's definitely not like we have mottos, but we have things like, I don't even know what those things would be. I guess how much I love you in church. They're not mottos and they're nothing to live by, but they're something that's really important to us. And thirdly is a new fella on Instagram that I've just met. Can you meet someone on Instagram? I've never met him in real life. His name's Josh Campbell, at Josh Campbell on the gram. And he said, 50K given to you, watch my next move. Which is interesting because to me, and like I just said, my financial perspective's changed a lot lately. But 50K given to me, what's my next move? Honestly, straight away, I'll get the van tricked up, running smoothly, everything will go to plan. And at this rate, man, I would probably just throw that bad bitch into the bank, and just let it churn away. Me and my wife are looking more and more at getting into real estate, property market, be it buy or invest or anything like that. So yeah, we'd probably just leave that money sitting there, make sure all our bills are paid, obviously, which they are, but yeah, I guess just use that money to set ourselves up going forward. So yeah, thanks brother, and thanks to Lockie, and thanks to the montage page as well for reaching out. And yeah, if you have any other questions, guys, be it whatever, there's a couple of funny ones on there as well, which yeah, we'll get to next week, or if I do a second podcast this week for sure. I know Lado's always cracking on about some shit, and my boy Brian asked some funny questions as well, so we might get over to them. But yeah, they're three main ones that I really wanted to touch on, just with everything else that's going on in my life at the moment. But guys, yeah, we got a couple of great podcast guests coming up. Hopefully there's one that I'm really stoked to have on. He's my longest friend ever, and we haven't spoken, we don't speak regularly, but he knows that I'll always look after him, and I know that I can always rely on him as well. And his family's still based here on the south side of Brizzy, so hopefully I don't want to tease at it because I want it to be a bit of a surprise, but we'll get him in here. And yeah, guys, I just really wanted to jump on today and just really touch base with you all and spread a bit of cheer and positivity and open up a bit about myself and about what's been going on with me. Sobriety wise, I think I'm at about 300 days, which is good. On the video, you'll be able to see I got some books here. So that's my AA big book. If you don't know much about AA, there's a lot of different literature that comes with it, but that's the big book. You can always go back to there. It's got your traditions and all that sort of stuff in there. New book that I bought today, Homo Deus, which is basically a brief history of tomorrow. Homo Deus will shock you, it will entertain you, it will make you think in a way you have not before. So I thought, man, that sounds awesome. I know Yuval, Harari has got some. He's also the writer of Sapiens as well, which I've read. So this was the next one in that chapter. So yeah, we got a couple of books there, some awesome stuff. But guys, I really appreciate you checking in today. Just a short episode, just to check in with you all and say what's up and introduce the new segment, and just, yeah, like I said, to really spread some positivity. So I hope that everyone's doing well, staying safe. Reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you guys about the podcast, even about what you're up to these days now that we're starting to open up restrictions here in Queensland. Anyways, touch base, let me know. I'd love to catch up with anyone that's listening. There's a couple of boys that I really want to catch up with. Might try and catch up for dinner. Potter, if you're out there, take me to the steakhouse. I don't remember what it's called, but I need you to take me there. Anyways, we will talk soon, guys. I really appreciate it. Peace out. Stay safe. I love you all. Make sure to share, subscribe, like, review, all that sort of stuff.